Hello, my dear kiddies. Welcome back to another pre-recorded video class. Let's begin our recorded session. Let's start with the topics for the week. Yes, here comes the topics for the week. That is decimal facts and multiplication strategies from Unit 2A number. I repeat, the topic for the week is decimal facts and multiplication strategies. Now let's start with a quick review session because we already discussed these concepts in our online class. So this video session will be quite helpful for you to recall what you have learned in your online class. So let's start with a quick review part. Yes. So here comes the very first statement. That is the decimal. We are dealing with decimal facts, right? So let's understand some truth about decimal. The decimal numeral system is a standard system for denoting integer and non-integers. So integer, it consists of positive, negative, and zero. Positive numbers, negative numbers, and zero will be there. So excluding these positive numbers, negative numbers, and zero, then the rest of the number will comes in non-integers. That is, that exists a lot of numbers, rational, irrational, that you will be learning in your higher grades. So just understand, integer means a positive number, negative number, and zero. Rather than that, whatever numbers are there, that comes in non-integer section. So mainly decimal system or decimal numeral system is used for denoting integers and non-integers. It is the extension of non-integer numbers of the Hindu-Arabic numeral system. So in the last week also I mentioned that we have two numeral system, Hindu-Arabic numeral system as well as Roman numerals, and we are following Hindu-Arabic mostly. The normal numbers we are using right now is Hindu-Arabic. So this decimal system is mainly concentrating on Hindu-Arabic numeral system. Why? Because in Roman numerals, there we are using alphabets like I, V, and or XL, right? So that decimal point or decimal notations importance is not needed. So mainly this decimal facts and decimal notation, decimal system, everything is concentrated on Hindu-Arabic numeral system. The next is how we are denoting a decimal number, or how we are identifying a decimal number. The way of denoting numbers in the decimal system is often referred to as decimal notation. So if I'm giving you a number 53 and 5.3, it's quite easy for you to understand a decimal number right now, right? Because you have already learned what a decimal number is, how to recognize a decimal number. What is a decimal notation? So decimal notation means simply a point. That is a full stop in our English language, right? Full stop, that point. That is known as decimal notation. If the decimal notation comes in between number, then you can conclude that it is a decimal number. Clear? So that's about the decimal number system or facts or truth of decimals. The same definitions you have gone through the last recorded video class also, because last week also we were dealing with the very same concept in a different way. Now we have one more topic, right? We learned one more topic as multiplication strategies. So what is the strategies? Strategy means everybody, this is a word that we use in our normal daily life, right? That is, this is her strategy. That is his strategy and all. What is a strategy? Strategy means a plan of action or policy, something like that we can say. If somebody is doing something with a plan of action right now, if you are assigned some job, then you will be making a action plan or plan of action, right? How to do that. So you will be making an overview about how, what is going to happen and how to execute that thing, everything. So that is known as strategy. Now we are dealing with multiplication strategy. So how multiplication, that plan of action is going to take place. That is the only simple thing that here actually we are not going to learn anything new. Whatever things we learn in grade 4, we are just brushing up here. That's all. Okay, so let's start with the definition of multiplication. Multiplication, as you know, one among the 4 basic operations in arithmetic, which gives you the result of combining groups of equal sizes. It's not combining groups of any number or anything. It is used to combine groups of equal sizes only. You can see that 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is equal to 12. That we will be writing in the multiplication way as 4 into 3, because 3 times 4 is added. So instead of that, we just came into a multiplication process as 4 into 3 gives you 12. So there we are adding numbers of equal sizes. We don't say that 5 plus 3 plus 2 as 5 into 3. No. If 5 is added 3 times, then we can say 5 multiplied or 5 times 3 is 50. So that is the definition I just put over here. So this is a quick review part. Nothing is there, you know everything, right? So now we will be moving to the applications. Yes. So children, before moving to the questions, let me tell you one thing. You don't need to write whatever I'm going to discuss right now in this video, because you have learned everything. You have written all those questions on your online class itself. So you don't need to write anything. Just watch the video, recall what you have learned in the online class of this particular week. Okay. So let's start with the very first question. Find the missing numbers. Okay. So the question is 0.7 plus some number gives you 1. So we already discussed, we already learned, I already taught you this in the online class. So how will you find this? Yes, here comes the answer part. The first step is I just wrote that question itself. Then let the missing number be x. This is like a common thing in mathematics. Whatever thing missing in mathematics, we will be giving it as x. Then by focusing or stressing on that x, we will be finding that missing value. So here, the question mark I just replaced as let the missing number be x. Therefore, I just changed the number sentence as 0.7 plus x is equal to 1. Then what is the next one? X is equal to 1 minus 0.7. So you will be getting, yes, just see 1 minus 7 gives you 0.3. So the value is 0.3. So whenever you add 0.3 with 0.7, you will be getting the total 1. So this is here, see, it is not mandatory that you have to take or you have to write the missing number be x and all. I just explained the answer in a standard way. You can write how I taught you in the online class itself, a simple way. Nothing has, no issues over there. Okay. So this is about the very first question. Now, let's move on to the second one. Okay, find 3 numbers that total 1. See, this is the pattern. So 3 number means all those 3 numbers should be decimal numbers. And when you add up all those 3 decimal numbers, you should be get the total as 1. Okay, let's start the answer part. Yes. Okay, so let the 3 numbers that total 1 is as follows. Yeah, this is my answer. You can find the answer in a variety number of ways that you already know, right? Because in the online class itself, you all people said different answers and you wrote your own answers on your notebook. So this is my answer. You can find your own answers. So I just put in this way 0.1 plus 0.3 plus 0.6, which gives you a total 1. Again, I'm telling there exist different answers for this question. You can write your own answers. The only thing is it should be a decimal number. It should be 3 decimal numbers and it should give, yeah, a total 1. Okay, so that's about the second question. Now let me move on to the third question. Yeah, here also finding the missing number. So here, yes, the A1, 5.3 plus some number gives you 10. So we are applying the same steps we just did in the first question, the same problem. The number is varying, that's all. So I just wrote this question first, then I took the missing number, that question mark, as x. Let the unknown number be x. Therefore, I'm rewriting the question by replacing the question mark as x. Yeah. 5.3 plus x is equal to 10. Then what will be the second step? We are going to find the value of x. So x is equal to, I'm just taking the 5.3 to the opposite side. So that is x is equal to 10 minus 5.3. If you're taking one number from one side to opposite side, its sign will be changing. That you don't bother about right now. Just plan if a number is missing, then take away that number from 10 in this case. So when you are doing that subtraction part, you will be getting the answer like this. See, when you take away 5.3 from 10, you will be getting the difference as 4.7. So the unknown number is 4.7. When you sum up this 4.7 with 5.3, you will be getting a total 10. Clear? Okay, here comes the next one, the fourth question. That is, work out the following. A part is 700 multiplied by 7, and B part is 90 multiplied by 6. So how will you do this problem? You have already learned this concept in grade 4, that is multiplying to the nearest 10 and 100. So if it is a 100 like number, then we will be following 2 zeros. The number followed by 2 zeros. If the number is in terms of like 10, then particular number followed by 1 zero. Okay, let's discuss here. So the A part, 700 multiplied by 7. So how I'm going to find the answer in the easiest way is 7 multiplied by 7 followed by 2 zeros on the number 700. So now we know what is the 7 multiplied by 7, or 7 times 7. That is 49. 49 followed by 20 means 4,900. Now the same pattern we are going to apply on the B part, 90 multiplied by 6. So 90 multiplied by 6, how will you replace? 9 multiplied by 6 followed by how many 0? 1 0. Why? Because in 90 there exists only 1 0. That's why. So what is this 9 times 6? 9 times 6 is 54. 54 followed by 0 means 540, which is 540. So this is a very simple question. You have already learned the concept, so it will be quite easy for you, right? So yeah, here comes the end of today's pre-recorded video class. I hope this video session helps you to recall what you have learned in this week. If you have any queries or any doubt, you can clear it through ClassDojo, or like if you can contact even. Okay, yeah. So that's all for today. Have a great week. Bye bye.